I came back from Masimo today, Masimo Sound United. So that was kind of cool. I showed them Magic Beans, and I got to do a calibration on their theater system.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool.
What they say? Go ahead, man. Don't be humble, Joe. Just like for real.
What did they say?
Yeah, what they say?
Well, first of all, thanks to Phil over there and Cam for being good hosts. But we're just going back and forth. So they had a Dirac calibration already set up. And I've already said Dirac is a good auto calibration if you had to just guess. Their guess is a pretty good guess, and it's decent. Mm-hmm. But when we switched back and forth, I only did 2 speakers. I just did the left, right, and sub. Right? And we're just switching back and forth, and somebody, I won't say who, just said, why would somebody want it the other way? Like when they had Magic Beans, they're like, why would somebody want it the other way? And I thought it was funny, but the truth is that everybody who has an auto calibration, if you don't go in there and manually put in your own target curve, that is what you get. So who would want it that way? Well, everybody who does it that way. Why? Because they didn't have an alternative before without taking a ton of time to actually figure out, what sounds good in there. And so
I think it's a case of we don't know what we don't know, right? And that ignorance is bliss. We're like, okay, well, how do we? Because at the end of the day, and I was gonna probably make a video about this. What is Magic Beans other than a fantastic joke by me that turned into Joe's business?
Yeah,
right. Charge for that, by the way.
Yeah,
please. I just think it's hilarious, and that's what more. It's just like shit audio, like just
oh yeah,
just having fun, right? So essentially, what it is Joe's method of manually calibrating a home theater. It's not really like it is an app. Yes, it is an app, but what it is a method of manually calibrating a home theater, which takes into account the 3 things that you're talking about: the listening distance, the speakers, and what the room is doing. So that those 3 things taken into account, your app just makes it allows you to do it in like 30, 40 minutes as opposed to 6 hours manually.
Well, we talk about the app here and on my channel because I hope that people would want to know how it works, right? Like, just don't take my word for it. Like, it sounds great. But for somebody else who really doesn't care to know, all you have to do is buy the thing, do it, and it'll give you the right answer. You throw it into your system, and it sounds better. Sounds like, as good as you'd ever heard your system. You don't have to know why,
right?
And that's okay too if somebody wants to do that. But I like to explain exactly why that happens. One of the things that I thought was interesting is Phil had spent a lot of time calibrating this system. Making his own target curve, spending, probably hours, days, weeks. And in less than 5 minutes, the target curve that Magic Beans came up with was very close to the one that he had taken the time to manually create. So he was like, he's like, holy crap. That was pretty fast. Like, you can see it here. So we have this thing called a post EQ alignment. So in blue is the one that he created, which is pretty close other than this area here. But the bass rise is very similar to what it came up with. And so this is something that he had to do manually. This is not what you'd get out of the box. Right. And the fact that this came up with the same results very quickly, that's kind of the point of it, right? It's not that you can't get these results with REW. You can. I've explained it in various places how you can just try to do this yourself. It's going to take you a long time, though. So what are some questions? I saw a question about price.
$100 million.
Yeah. What is the price of the app going to be? So it's already available. It's on magicbeansaudio.com, and the standard version is $249, and the pro version is $399. And the only reason you'd want the pro version is if you're really into this stuff and you want to see, the measurements of each speaker. We have an export that's kind of like in kind of like Clipple style. It'll show you some directivity information, which is kind of cool. But it's really if you want to get in there and see every speaker. For most people, standard is fine. And I think eventually
I use standard.
Standard, yeah.
Yeah, I use standard.
Yeah. Eventually we might do some discounts, kind of like what we do the spatial toolkit, So we'll see. I'll try to do something like that to try to make it more enticing to people to buy it. But, right now we're still working out a few things just here and there, few issues that people are having with like on a Trinnov. I don't have a Trinnov.
Mm-hmm.
I have to kind of rely on other people who do have a Trinnov to say, oh, this thing, we got to fix it. Okay, cool.
I got stuck on the Yamaha yesterday. He's like, I'm at Legoland, bro. Try to figure it out. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So, I got stuck. And fortunately, I was able to get unstuck. So the beginning of my video for you Yamaha fans, it's really going to be, make sure you can do this first. If you can't do this, don't buy it until you can do this. Otherwise, you can't import the target curve. But once it's in there, there's all dude. You can like run through it, and it shows all the curvies. And I gotta say, man, I never thought I'd say this, Paul, but that Yamaha sounds good now.
Ugh.
Uh-oh.
Yamaha sounds really good now.
So here, Magic Beans. If you go to Magic Beans Audio, so this is to answer this question. Give a rundown on Magic Beans. Do you need a disc? No other equipment? If you go to...
Did you just toss the link in there? I put the link in there already.
Yeah. If you go to Magic Beans Audio, you'll see this, and then click on recommended equipment, and then it shows you a list of the stuff that we recommend.
I actually like a heavier duty. Oh my gosh. What is it? The selfie stick.
Oh, right? Okay.
Here. I'm gonna use my light. So this is the one that you got me for my light, right, Joe?
Yeah.
What I like about it is, all right, so we go like this, and we can do the like backup one, right? Just to pretend that this is the what do you call it? The microphone. It's going this way. Go like this, and then when we're ready, we go like this to do the other side. Like it's quick because of this like little hingy guy here.
Yeah.
So I got it done pretty quickly last night.
Here's a question from Wendell. He says, Joe, does Magic Beans come with instructions? We do a lot of video instructions. I figure it's the easiest way to do it. Let's see, Chrome tab, something like this. So when you buy it, you'll have instructions on how to, do the mic, importing to Mini DSP, importing into Dirac, graphic EQ or multi-Q X. So there are detailed instructions on how to do those. Also, we have our Discord group. So if you have a question specifically that's not on the video, then you can just ask us and we'll be in there. I'll be in there.
I mean, Wendell's always hit me up on Facebook anyway. So you can always ask me a question. You have a Denon, so I've been a Denon one plenty of times, Denon and Marantz.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like we know a lot of you guys because you guys actually ask questions. You reach out to us and tell me if I'm not telling the truth. Do we not respond? Like we go in there and we'll give you detailed responses. I think that's something that you can't get from some of the bigger companies. You go and try to email them, they might get back to you next week,
if ever.
That's pretty much it. We got a super chat. Make sure to check out our audio-only version of the podcast at anchor.fm/Daily HiFi, or just go to your favorite podcasting service and search for Daily HiFi.